All right. Welcome back to another episode of my movie review series, episode 237. Oh, yeah, October is over. I'm out of the shadows, out of the darkness, back to you, back to business as usual with the movie review series. Last week I said that I was last week I said dead or alive, you're coming with me, and this will be for the last time. So yeah, RoboCop 3, 1993. RoboCop 3 in 1993. Yep, Robert Burke. Robert Burke, or Robert John Burke, as he's known today. But Robert Burke, instead of Peter Weller, comes in and he plays Alex J. Murphy himself. At least Nancy Allen comes back as Lewis, and then we have Rip Torn here, the late Rip Torn. Yeah, this movie, I could have done this review a little bit later, but considering the fact that this movie came out on November 5th, 1993, I just had to throw that out there, Well, it's not November 5th right now, but considering that, November 5th is my birthday, and I just had to throw it out there that you know, might as well do the review on the birthday weekend. So just a little bit of a connection. But yeah, man. Anyway, yeah, RoboCop 3. In 1993. New faces, but a new face, but the same old shenanigans as OCP tries to take over old Detroit. But things are not working out very well for the corrupt company. So yeah, they went Japanese. They pretty much had a little bit of a partnership. Actually, no, not really a partnership, but they were bought out from this Japanese company, Kanamitsu, and the Kanamitsu Corporation. Yeah, so the Kanamitsu Corporation buys out OCP, so OCP can go further with with their plans to take over old Detroit, pretty much wipe out old Detroit, and make Delta City the dream that the old man had in the second movie. They're going to move forward with it. They got a new CEO to move forward with the plans to wipe out Detroit and make Delta City. So yeah, they got these street enforcers called the urban rehabilitators, aka the rehabs, and they're pretty much OCP's own police force, and they're ran by this scumbag named Paul McDaggett. Well, what they see, what the people see on TV, that the rehab is trying to the rehabs are like the the new the new enforcers of law enforcement. But what they're really doing is running people of Cadillac Heights, running them out of their homes, just so they can tear everything down and get everything ready for Delta City. But but that just can't happen. It just can't happen. And RoboCop, he made it he made it a bit clear that it's not going to happen. You know, with the help of these resistance from Cadillac Heights, you know, it's starting to become a war in the streets here. So yeah, one day, RoboCop, Murphy and Lewis, they're they come across these civilians in the Cadillac Heights borough, I guess you could say. They come across these civilians, and they're now on the battle lines between them and the rehabs, McDaggett and the rehabs. But but you know when they made the decision to fight for the people, because RoboCop, his prime directives, serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law, and do not oppose an OCP officer. So yeah, the fourth directive, man, the fourth directive make a difference in everything in these movies. So yeah, when RoboCop made the when Murphy made the decision to protect the innocent and uphold the law, you know, that was a bit of a loophole. I mean, he don't have to actually fight these guys, but he can stand against them. You know, yeah, you're making a mistake. Back off, or there will be trouble. But that goddamn Matt Daggett, man, that scumbag, he shot down Lewis. Yeah, that right there, and that was the big shocker right there, man, because Lewis, the mainstay of all these movies, she was there from the beginning, and she was Murphy's partner from the beginning. And then McDaggett shoots her down, officer down. So yeah, Murphy, yeah, he sees this, and then yeah, he start to he point his gun. And he want to shoot McDaggett so bad, but he can't do it because that goddamn fourth prime directive. He want to shoot him so bad. He want to just get him so bad, but he can't do it, man. He just can't pull the trigger, you know. But what he can do is shoot up their truck and everything like that, Pretty much like Terminator 2 when, Terminator's he made his promise, he promised that he would not kill people. So yeah, that's part of his programming thanks to John making him do that. So yeah, what can Terminator do? He can only shoot people's legs and blow up their cars and everything like that. Just like in the it's like in the that one scene. He's at the window. He got the minigun and he just blowing up police cars and everything. You know, hell of a scene. But yeah, kind of like that with this movie right here. You know, RoboCop shoots up the rehab's transportation system. Yeah, because all of them are OCP officers, especially McDaggett. Yeah, the shooter himself. But yeah, RoboCop, yeah, he shoots up the transportation system, but Daggett fires a grenade launcher right into Murphy's chest, and that just damaged him real bad, real bad. I mean, yeah, he is now just trashed, you know. Even though he's still functioning, his energy level is starting to lower. So quickly lower too. But yeah, he takes. But the resistance, they're starting to pretty much fight. They're trying to pretty much fight for him as he takes Lewis into his arms, and then he have a final conversation with her, and she asks him she asks him to get them for her, and he made a promise that he would. So yeah, Murphy, he's no longer a cop. He's no longer a cop. He got to he's now a resistance freedom fighter. You know, yeah, there's a war out there in the streets, man, and yeah, it's time to choose a side, and Murphy has chosen the side. He's a resistance freedom fighter. But here's the thing: now that he got that damage, he's pretty much is dying. So his energy level is starting to rapidly plummet. So he calls for the assistance of Dr. Lazarus, one of the scientists that helped create him. Yeah. So while OCP is trying to have them erase his memories because early in the movie, and he disobeyed a direct order. He chose to help out friends instead of do his duty. So he uh, so Dr. Lazarus, you know, she was supposed to install a chip to erase Murphy's memories, but she didn't do it. So because that is the only thing that is keeping him human. You know. But if you've seen the other two films, that is the one of the main fights of RoboCop. His humanity. And when they try to plan to take away his humanity, so he can be 100% their product. You know, that's where these uh these uh these scientists, the only good ones in these movies. that's where that's just where they draw the line. They decide to keep RoboCop's memories, to try to keep his humanity alive. So so yeah, man. Basically, yeah, that's the basic premise here. The war is going out in the streets, man. You know, uh, of resistance freedom force has it's a uprising, and then you got these rehabs that are pretty much like these rehabs, these riot cops out here. They trying to tear down everything that was pretty much good in Detroit because the corrupt corporation of OCP is barely trying to stay afloat themselves. Man, I tell you, yeah, this movie though, yeah, RoboCop 3, it is not the best out of the under three films. Not the best at all. Like I said in the RoboCop 2 review, you know, like I said there, you know, if I had a ranking for each film, it will be RoboCop and then RoboCop 2 and then RoboCop 3. Yeah, it's not the best out of the the three films, but there are some redemption points in this movie. I mean, hell, they got Basil Polidorus to come back to do the score. He wasn't. He didn't do the music for the second film, but they can't. But he came back, did the score, put in the original stuff, and then he put in some new stuff for this particular movie right here. They got him to come back, and then you know. Here's the thing, though. Here is the thing. The movie is directed by Fred Decker. The movie is directed by Fred Decker. He did some horror stuff. Night of the Creeps, one of my favorite movies. Night of the Creeps. He did that. He did Monster Squad. And the recent Predator movie. The Predator. He did that too. But yeah, he and Frank Miller, the returning Frank Miller, comic book writer and artist, Frank Miller, you know, both of these cats did the screenplay for this movie. Even though Frank Miller he wrote the story. It was Frank and Fred Decker. They did the screenplay. They wrote the script. They wrote the movie. So like I said in the second movie review, that it was at the end. It was pretty much veering towards superhero. He was very much veers towards superhero levels. Well, man, I gotta tell you, this movie, by the time RoboCop showed up in his flight pack, it 100% became a superhero movie. It really did. I don't think this movie was meant to be a superhero movie. The first movie, you know, it was a great sci-fi action film, but in many aspects, it was not a superhero movie. The second one was a pretty good sci-fi action film, and in many aspects, it started to become a superhero movie. This movie is purely a superhero movie. It's a real good story, hey, Frank Miller, duh. I don't have to run down the accolades that this cat has done again, do I? Sin City, um, 300. Um, yeah, he wrote Daredevil, Born Again. You know, you know the those stories right there completely revamped the whole Daredevil brand. You know, everything that was done before. You know, real good stuff. But once Frank Miller gets his hands on it, Frank Miller, this guy, he changes everything for the better as far as comic books is concerned. But once he got his hands into Hollywood, once he started putting his writings into Hollywood, doing RoboCop opposed to writing The Dark Knight Returns or Daredevil Born Again or 300 or Sin City, writing those books is a hell of a lot different than doing a movie like RoboCop. And it showed. It showed right here in this movie. It showed, especially if his stuff wasn't fully. It didn't. Should have got some water. It didn't fully come into fruition. I mean, I understand that there was a lot of stuff that was pretty much cut out as far as Frank's ideas was concerned. And another thing, this movie is PG-13, while the other ones was R. I mean, especially the first one. I mean, hell, the movie was the first movie was rated R so hard that they had to cut out a few scenes just so they can keep the R rating. But you can see those scenes in the special edition DVD that is out there right now. Oh man, I tell you, you thought the movie was violent before. Whew. But yeah, the first two movies, real good R rating. This movie, a PG-13 rating. I mean, once you introduce a kid to the mix, you know that the quality of the movie had just start to fall just like OCP stock. Uh, yeah, once you introduce a kid to the mix, I mean, I'm not knocking the character of Nico at all. I'm not knocking her at all. I mean, she's real good at computer hacking. She was a real good factor in helping RoboCop win the fight against OCP. But once you start to add a kid to the mix, that's when things just go. It just plummets. The quality just plummets. A movie like RoboCop, it has to be, hard hitting. It has to just come at you, hit after hit after hit. Something that you would just really be affected by. And the emotion from the score that Beza Polidorus has put out there. And yeah, like I said, there are some redemption uh, parts of this movie. And yeah, Beza Polidorus' score, it helped. It helped, you know. But yeah, this movie, it's just not up to par. But that's okay though. That's okay though. I mean, it's it's still some parts. It's still a pretty good action movie. It's still a pretty good action movie. It did not have to become a superhero movie. But like I said, by the time RoboCop had the flight pack on, which looks great, mind you. I mean, it looks great. Especially once you get it. Once you start having artists out there, do some drawing of RoboCop, with the flight pack, and you can see that you can see that yeah, it looks great on him. The design of it coincide with his body. The hell, yeah, the design of it coincides with yeah, his own body. It looks great on him, and he got that new uh mounted arm gun on him. Yeah, part machine gun, part missile launcher. You know, and once you got that sucker, and you got the flight pack, you know, it's a whole other, level for him. It's a whole other ball game right there. But yeah, this movie though, you know, as much as I like the movie, with the redemption points, it's just not there. And the second movie, it's okay, but it's just not the first movie. I mean, the first RoboCop movie, it can't be touched. It really can't be touched, especially when they're trying to remake the damn movie. You know, the original movie, it just can't be touched. Like Roy Jones Jr., it can't be touched. Anybody that knows that song, what I'm talking about. But yeah, anyway, yeah, great efforts by Frank Miller, but when they got Frank Miller and Fred Decker to work on the script, you can see that it was two different minds that did not mesh. So it just didn't work. So yeah, I give this movie it's a it's a 3 out of 5, man. It's a 3 out of 5. It had good efforts, it had good redemption points, but the quality was just not there. So yeah, RoboCop 3, a 3 out of 5. RoboCop 3 that came out in 1993, it gets a 3 out of 5 from me. That's my review, Jack, and I'm sticking to it. Now, next week, you want to talk a superhero movie? Next week is going to be a real good superhero movie. Yes, Tony Stark is coming back, and he's going to have a couple of new friends along with him. Yeah, War Machine and Black Widow both make their debuts. So you keep it locked right here for that. Check out my other shit right here. Subscribe to me right here. But in the meantime, in between time, Jack, this show is off.